gates prepared yet.
You need to try and pick off the units as...
Look at the shields on the mark. That's awesome.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna take this.
And we're on. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. We're from the GSL at GoldenTV.net. Professional StarCraft commentators based in Seoul, Korea, doing the IPL for you guys. Over here in the upper right, we have FuRy. He had a tough game. In game number 1, basically overrun by his opponent, who we're going to get a shot of here. And he's in the blue. This is Tarson, a Polish StarCraft 1 player. A very formidable opponent. And he's somebody who definitely had a lot of success in StarCraft 1 in the later years, in sort of the twilight of the esports StarCraft 1 scene.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Artosis?
Oh, tasteless.
Artosis.
I am just delighted to be here. First of all, with you, but most of all, and don't take any offense, with the IPL. We haven't done this tournament before. We were huge fans of Season 1. I loved those games. And here we are in Season 2. I am so excited because it is expanded. It has become a much better tournament. A bigger prize pool, more players. And it has some of my favorite players in it. And one of them is Tarson. This is a guy I know pretty well. Look at that. Gas first. Already liking him for that.
Yeah, we already got stuff to talk about here. Gas first.
Yeah,
but please go on. We can talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a minute. I just want to talk about Tarson. One of the friendliest guys that I know, Tasteless. I've known him in StarCraft 1. Hit him in all sorts of tournaments there. Commentated tournaments he was in, played him in tournaments around the world and such. Great player, nice guy. In fact, I had the opportunity to play him in StarCraft 2 a little bit as well. Very strong Terran. And, he took that game 1 very convincingly. Had twice the amount of Marines as FuRy in that game 1 where FuRy tried to expand a little bit too quick without any bunker at his expansion. So, hopefully FuRy does a little bit better this time. We will see.
One thing about that previous game is that Tarson was pretty far behind. He had lost a lot of SCVs. He just went in there and attacked, and it worked.
It certainly did.
FuRy was a little bit too greedy with his advantage.
He was. If you're going to expand that much quicker than your opponent in a mirror matchup, you need some sort of static defense. And whether that's a tank in siege mode on the high ground or a bunker full of Marines on the low ground, you need something, man, or your opponent might just kill you. And that's exactly what Tarson did. So we're going to have to see how it goes down this game. A factory going up for Tarson very, very quickly. And what is this? A reactor.
What? No, here's what this means. Because we saw a refinery from Tarson before the barracks, so he's going to have a lot more Vespene gas more quickly. He wants to get that factory out so fast that his tech units are going to do way more damage much more quickly because his opponent is not going to be prepared. And take a look here. He's hiding behind that tree. But is he skinny enough, Artosis?
They can't see me.
I don't know.
No, the Marines shoot him through the tree. That would be the most terrible thing ever. If bears were chasing me through the forest, I would do the same thing, Taste. Well, if I was alone, I would hide behind a tree. If I was with you, I love you, Tasteless, but I would trip you so the bear eats you and I can get away.
You're like a fat kid running from wolves. No, if I was at a CD hiding behind the tree, what I would have done is I would have put my arms in the air. Because if you notice an SCV, when it moves around, it looks like it's sitting down, Artosis. You gotta put your arms in the air, you gotta straighten your back up. It's the only way you're gonna hide from those Marines.
Well, you know what I would actually probably do? If I was an SCV on a StarCraft 2 map and you sent me out to scout, I would first stop by the command center and buy a white flag. Alright, I would give up instantly and start shooting me, man. Alright, we have these couple of Hellions coming out. FuRy is making that command center quicker than Tarson this game. Once again, trying to get that very quick expand out, but here come the 2 Hellions, and there's only 2 Marines up here. Only 1 Hellion out so far, and these 2 Marines look like they will both, in fact, go down. But as 2 Hellions come out, Tarson's going to have to run. His Hellions have already taken some damage.
We see an interesting situation here because both players opening up with Hellions, but one trying to do it economically, the other trying to overpower his opponent with just raw strength here. Those Hellions did take some damage, but with the reactored Hellions coming out so quickly, with that factory being so early, it may be difficult for our Orange Terran FuRy to hold this off.
Yeah, and we do see their supplies very close to each other. The starport just finishing for FuRy. Now, will he tech into some sort of Banshee play, or will he get a preemptive Viking? because as we saw in the production tab earlier, Tarson is making a Banshee, and of course, if you're going to get such a quick expansion, you're going to have to play a defensive game. It might be quite smart to get that Viking out.
Yeah, absolutely. We see more and more Hellions coming, but note that Tarson has coupled this with a Banshee that has Cloak on the way.
Halfway done, man.
Halfway done.
Just
This could
starting
be
his
bad.
command center now, and we do have him historic up. Will he make one at the expansion? A little bit late, sending over 6 Hellions. But here comes the Banshee hitting the Hellions, and even though it's the same amount of Hellions, they're taking a ton of damage from this
And
Banshee.
he's not even moving the Hellions.
Yeah,
I don't know about the
sure.
strategy of letting your Hellions take damage until they die strategy. It doesn't tend to work in most games, but here they come out now. The
And then
Banshee continuing to deal damage and now running over all these Hellions with the flame
Not
damage.
just that, but less Banshees against more Banshees. I mean, less Hellions against more Hellions, but also less Banshees against more Banshees. Bam! Saved myself.
1 to
Faceless.
0.
Yeah. So
That's
and
it.
wow, I'm actually really
Short game.
surprised.
Well, that's what happens when you have those
Dude,
builds.
That
GG.
was a little bit weird, Tasteless, I have to say. It was some weird choices by FuRy there. Not a lot of defense, but oh well, I guess that's it. This has been Tasteless and Artosis. Tastosis from the GSL. And I would love to thank you guys for watching the IPL. And see you later.
Thank you.